This is your captain speaking. Welcome aboard Razor Air Flight 100. We are currently flying over Spawn, so if you look out your window, you may catch a glimpse of a starter house and the beginning of our journey. More information about Spawn and other areas is available through our in-flight entertainment system, so feel free to access that at your own leisure. But enough chit-chat, it's time to sit back and relax as we push some service down the aisle and some scenery past the window. Thanks for flying Razor Air. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of Earth, welcome to RANDON'S World Tour with me, Razor Randon. So glad you could make it, and I hope you're having a great day. And thank you for popping in to check out the World Tour. We have so many things to see and so many things to do, and not a lot of time. I'm going to try not to make this video too long, but like I said, we're going to check out our volcano build here in Randon's World, and our nether, which includes a gold farm where we placed over 12,000 lava buckets, Froglight Farm, Wither Skelly Farm, and of course a nether tunnel. And the main event of this tour will probably be the city, and we've done a lot of work in the city and had a lot of fun adventures there, including an alien invasion. We have a city hall that holds our storage system along with many farms underneath and a mine shaft. We have different office towers, including a bank that we put diamonds in for every sub on YouTube, and we have so many farms sitting around. Creeper farm in a hotel. We have flower farms. We have dam. So many builds. But yeah, we'll check all those things out. And we still have to look at this plane, which is actually a witch farm. And we'll check that out a little later, along with our end. Not much going on there, but you know, we'll check it out anyways. I want to try and catch everything that we've done, but the best way to see all this stuff is obviously to go check out the videos. And you know, I know it's 100 and might take a little bit of time, but it's really worth your while, trust me, and I think you'll enjoy them. But you know, I think it's time to get started, and probably the best way to get started is to check out this video that the captain was talking about Spawn. We'll check that out now. Yeah, sit back, relax, enjoy the flight, grab some snacks, and hopefully you'll enjoy the video. So anyways, let's get going. All right, here we go. All right, let's see how we turn this thing on. There we go. Spawn, where the adventure began. A humble beginning in a brave new world. The diamonds represent our exact landing point. Sunken ship, a lava lake, and not much more to see. A mountain peak, a small village, a frozen wasteland, and an abandoned town. A perfect place to make a fresh start. Of course, things were done differently here. We didn't just go and punch a tree and start building. We only picked up blocks that we thought made sense. Dirt, sand, clay, things that wouldn't hurt our hands. A little house on a prairie. A mysterious tree with a hidden secret. All the basics of a safe house. No door, no windows. Simple things to get us started. Everything we needed to make a fresh start. What was that? Go watch the real videos. They'll give you way more information. This is your captain speaking. We hope you're enjoying the flight. If you are, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you pay your attention out the window, you'll notice Mount Guardian, an active volcano here in Randon's World. Things are looking pretty calm today, so I think we'll go in for a closer look. A closer look? That can't be good. This is your captain speaking. We seem to have a problem. The wing is on fire. We better take a closer look and see if there's anything we can do about this. Okay, let's go. Oh, there's the wing. Okay, I think I have an idea. Maybe if we tie the seatbelts together, I can go out there and I can put out that fire. All right, let's do this. All right, we're all set up and we're going to give this a try. Here goes nothing. All right, if we can just get over here. Put out this fire. Now let's check the engine. Uh-oh. I can see my starter house from here. Alive. Yeah, I'm alive. I hope you enjoyed that little bit, but let's check out some of this stuff, all right? Okay, here we go. So, this is the volcano that we saw, and it's still a work in progress, but some of the things are coming along quite nice, and it is functional. What we have is an ocean monument below, and they will come up here in the center, and we have a series of tripwires that will shoot off fire charges, I guess they are, and yeah, once the guardians come up, they bounce around. There's slime under here, and yeah, we get a neat little effect. Now, all the guardians don't come here. We do have a farm down below, so let's take a look around. You can see we had a mushroom island here. Spawn is just over there, not too far away, and like I said, there's still some framing that we're doing here and some work we're doing, but it does go all the way under water, so it connects to the ground, which is quite nice. We used just resin blocks there for the lava effect, and yeah, we need to terraform quite a bit here, and the idea is to put in a beach and some palm trees and different things. And then underneath, we actually had a shipwreck, which we're going to try to make a cavern here, which I think will be quite cool. And here's the ocean monument that you can see. We also had some ocean ruins, so we can maybe have like a little whole city going on here once we drain the remainder of this, so that we're completely under the mountain. So, you know, fairly standard ocean monument. I don't think I did anything groundbreaking here. And again, still a lot of work to do. But, you know, guardians spawn here in the 4 chambers. They drop down, and for the time being, they just splat at the bottom. And you can see we don't have storage, so this is something that's going to come up in the next 100 episodes, hopefully. And let's take a look downstairs, what else we've done. So down here, we have, you know, nothing really exciting. But underneath, we've started to dig, because we're probably going to do a full perimeter underwater. So we have a good chunk of it done, basically whatever is under the monument for now, all the way down to bedrock. But that still means we probably have to go 100 blocks in each direction, which is quite a bit. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, let's fly up out of here, and then we can take a look, because the nether portal's here, so we can pop into the nether. All right, let's go do that. All right, here we are in the nether, and all of this still needs to be worked on. This is part of a diagonal tunnel that we're planning to have. Our nether spawn or hub is right over there, and again, there's still so much to do, but you can see it's just a bubble portal inside, and then we have these tunnels that are coming off of it, suspended by chains, and still a lot of tunnels to do, but we'll get there. This here is our gold farm, and you can see it sits in the middle of a lava lake. This was not a lava lake, it was an island at one point. From over here, where it's flat, basically all the way over to here. And so this is where those 12,000 buckets of lava were placed. All right, let's go check this out. So like I was saying, we did have an island here, and we'll just pop under. I took a fire res potion. So here you can see we had some slabs, and we put them down and then placed buckets on top. And so, yeah, this whole area is was once land. But I wanted it to come out of the lava. Now we're still going to put in some kind of more detail of it coming out, but you can kind of see the... Oh, are they stuck there? I hope not. It looks like they are. Well, a couple of them are stuck. Not sure why. I guess they're working their way down. We had to make some adjustments to that farm because of the powdered snow. But let's go take a look inside of it. And you can see we were very lucky with where our portal came out. There was a bastion like right here beside it. And we did make a froglite farm that I'll show you after in there. But let's go check out the gold farm. And like I said, it goes from bedrock to bedrock. I can't remember how many layers there are. It's probably not the most efficient farm, but for a single player world, it's totally fine. And we do have a switch that will switch it from kill mode to XP mode. We have a trapped ghast up there just for fun. So we can flick that switch and then they'll survive the fall. And they're not one punch, but I usually punch them so they come a little closer, and then we can take them out. Now, we obviously have to be careful with the new spears, so it's changed a little bit. Might get a little bonus XP here, but it does work quite well, and that's part of why we're clearing out an area to try to maximize the rates. But you can see here, it does go all the way down, and we'll take a look at each layer and see what we got. So down a little bit from here, we have our sorting / crafting. So we have nuggets turning into ingots. We have a line that has just ingots, that if they're coming in, they come down. And then all the trash goes in these lines and gets burned over here. So we have a couple item filters there, and the same over here. Now, from here, once it's crafted, it gets dispensed or dropped into powdered snow and drops down to the next layer where we have our bartering. And we just have the 6 guys here, and they seem to keep up all right. So yeah, the gold comes down, drops in between, so one or the other will catch it, and they make the trade. It gets sucked into the hopper, and then it comes down into our filter system. And yeah, I know it's pretty big, but it's what it is. But the 3 lines, this line, and this line, which correspond to the bartering setup, it's the same. So we get string, we get fire charges, ender pearls, all the goodies. And it's the same on each line. It's the same over here. You can see we have the different things. And the same in this line. Some of the more rare items like quartz, obsidian, crying obsidian, and the dried gas, they're coming in this line, and then the junk. Which we're probably going to have to do something about because it is adding up. Down here is our lava setup that we use to fill in all the spaces, the 12,000 buckets. And again, there's more detail to go, but it's a a work in progress. So let's pop up and see what else we can see in the nether. All right, back in 1 sec. All right, we're just flying over to our Wither Skelly farm, and again, these tunnels aren't complete. Ends right here. This is where our mining desert is. It took us forever to find one, but eventually we did. Yeah, it was an ongoing joke for a while. You can see here the Nether Fortress ahead of us. Let's pop down, and we still have to make a better entrance for this because yeah, it's not the best situation, but we spawn proofed a little bit of the land that was close enough, slabs, yeah, here's our Wither Skelly farm. It also gets us some blaze rods, not a ton, but as a nice little side effect, we get those. Let's pop up and I'll show you. It's based on, I think, Logical Geek Boy design up top with some modifications. So when the piglins or the zombified piglins drop, they die, but the blaze float down and get pushed into the lava and then kind of float along underneath and come down into the middle here where we can kill them. We lose some, but you know, it's better than nothing, and yeah, it's pretty good for Wither Skelly skulls, and we've gotten quite a bit of stuff from here. Obviously I'm clearing this out as we go, but yeah, pretty nice thing to have. Basic farm, and here you can see they get stuck a little bit, but eventually they push through. You can see them going, and then they come here. And you have to be a little bit careful because they can shoot you from time to time. But yeah, you can just hit them here, and their items should drop down. Anyways, let's go check something else out. And like I said, we don't have a ton of things in the nether. You know, it's on the list, but we do have a few other things. Can fly over this. Oops. And see the farm before we leave. So yeah, like I said, it's based on a Logical Geek Boy design, I believe. You know, turtle eggs, standard stuff, brown shirt in the middle, and these guys eventually wander in. So let's go back, find our tunnel, and we'll go check out the Froglight farm before we leave the nether. All right, back in a sec. So everything here is enclosed, obviously, so gas don't bother us. And you can see here, we might have missed a few spots, but we've done a pretty good job of buttoning everything. And we have our farm down here below. Now, obviously, these spawner farms are not the best in terms of rates. You're better off to have a nether roof one. But you can see what we did here is we tried to divide the frogs by color, and kind of helps with sorting. So we have you know, the green, the pearlescent, I guess, and the whatever those are called, ochre frogs there. And we have a series of mine carts down here to pick up the drops. It doesn't constantly go. We have to set it off, and I don't know what items I have in here. We'll see. If you get an arrow, it only runs for 30 seconds or so. If you get an item, it'll go for 5 minutes. It goes and picks up, empties on those hoppers, and then we have mine carts that come and pick up from underneath, and end up traveling around. Let's see if we see one here. There's one there, and it'll go drop off in the specific spot. So, like I said, because we've separated the frogs, we get kind of semi-efficient sorting. You can see here we have a little bit of mix, but not too bad. And again, these things, I don't really AFK, so there's not tons of items in here right now, and I've, used a ton, so I'm kind of constantly coming over and taking things from here. Still more to do, design-wise, but, kind of a neat thing with having the movement and the different carts doing things. So you can see now they've stopped, the arrows despawned. And if we look down here, oh, this guy, you can see kind of the setup that we have here, where the minecarts will come in, and these ones seem not to be, well, I guess that one was running, but yeah, let me know what you think, and let's pop up, and we're gonna head into the overworld. All right, back in a sec. Well, all right, here we are in the overworld, and this is our main base area, including the city, which is just loading in over there. But let's take a quick look at this village. This village was here when we arrived, and we've walled it all in, trying to contain the villagers, because as we all know, they try to wander off. So it's completely walled. There may still be some breaches in the wall, because occasionally we end up with an ocean villager, but the original village was from this cleric's tower here, and it went over this way. And normally Minecraft villages, they generate a little bit weird, so some of these buildings we moved up or down depending, to make it a little bit smoother terrain. And a little custom garden there on the side, and a sniffer pen there. But we also added the wheat field, which ended up having some crop circles in it, and eventually an alien invasion. And you can see we have a water wheel, water mill building, a barn with some silos, and a farmhouse. And then we added these vanilla houses here to the side. But let's take a look at the flying saucer and see what it's used for, because what happened is the villagers got abducted, and we have a mini trading hall there. So let's take a look. So it's a pretty simple design, just quartz. We trapped a couple creepers up top as their alien pilots, and to get inside we actually use the bubble column here, which kind of looks like a beam teleporting people up. But yeah, here we have our villagers. It's small, 16, some masons, librarians, random assortment, and some farmers. And some of these villagers are named after mostly people we watch on Twitch, friends of the channel, and there's still way more to be named. But yeah, let's go look at something else. Maybe we'll take a look at the barn and the farmhouse. So let's go do that. Well, here's our diagonal barn, and I'm pretty happy with this build. I've done a few diagonal barn builds before in the past, and they're a little bit tricky. The roof line is always hard, but there's a video, an old green video, that helps with it. I'm not sure if I can find it, but if I do, I'll link it in the description. But yeah, making a slight curve to it seems to help with the way that it looks, and the same on this side, the curves. But yeah, let me know what you think of how it looks. And we have a little cart there with some wheat. Our farmhouse, still a work in progress interior wise, but pretty happy with the details on the outside. A little wraparound porch. And then the last unique build here is the water wheel, the water mill. And I'm also happy with how this one came out. We're going to add a few more around in the village, and hopefully fill it out. But yeah, let me know what you think about it, and let's go look at something else. All right, back in a sec. Well, from here we can get a good look at the city, and obviously it's a work in progress. But what we're going to do is we're going to pop into City Hall, which was that building right in the center, right here, and take a look around, because this is the building that kind of started the whole city when we got to this area. So let's pop in and see what it's all about. All right, now there's obviously a whole kind of circular build inside, circular in Minecraft, but let's go down here to the basement and we'll start from the bottom and work our way up. In the basement we have a super smelter here with, I'm not sure if there's about 85 furnaces or so. You can see them tucked in. We have a couple generators, a salt generator, stone generator, and on this side is a bamboo farm which fuels the smelters. But if you look down here, this tube actually goes all the way to bedrock where our mine was, and we started out down here, you know, obviously early game, you're looking for diamonds and mining a lot, and we wanted a way to get the items up into our storage system. So there are these water channels that if you dump items in here, they'll travel along and head on up to the sorting system above. But you know, we don't spend a lot of time down here anymore. After the early game, you kind of get your set of diamonds and you're pretty much done with it. But it doesn't mean we won't revisit down here and keep on digging and see if we can find some more. Ouch, wasn't very nice, was it? But let's pop on up and see what else we can find. Oops. So there is an elevator, obviously, but we do have other levels here. This used to be our tree cutting area, and we would plant a bunch of trees, climb up, chop them down. When you use these vines, the leaves don't grow through them, so you always have a way up. We have our amethyst farm here, where as they grow, it's set on a timer, pistons fire, knock the amethyst down. They travel along to one of the buildings up top that we'll look at later. But we're probably going to revamp this area because we now chop trees upstairs in some of the office towers. But let's actually, before we go up, we can look at our slime farm here. And we've tried to tuck the farms all in different areas in the underground, or a lot of the farms. And so you can see here we have some iron golems, and they attract the slime. The unique thing about this slime farm is that these mushroom lights will actually push up and turn off the farm if we need to. And, you know, that way we can always control what is happening here with what's running and what's not. You know, in a single player world, you kind of don't always need the farms going. You get a lot of stuff. So let's go and see some other farms. All right, this is our sheep farm here, just one level up. And we have our 16 different sheep, and they're all contained in their little units, dispensers, you know, standard design to shear the sheep. What's not standard is that the wool just sits right here, and on a timer, this dispenser will dispense water. The sheep do a little surfing. Items go down the center, and then they go up the center tube as well. Just something a little different. We try to do different kinds of designs here. This is a pretty standard iron farm. Zombie should wander back and forth, scare the villagers, and then we get a golem. But let's take a little nap, and then we'll look at some more things. All right, back in a sec. Well, here we are, waking up in a tent. And a tent? What are you talking about, Razor? Well, you see, this is a replica of how the area was when we first landed on the beach above. And our first diamond back behind us. Simple tents. We recreated the area down below, and different storage that we had early game. And it's just a kind of a reminder of where we started and how everything happened. But we did some cloud designs, even snuck our face in there. But let's go take a look down below, and we'll see some of the things that aren't a replica. Like over here, we have a bamboo farm for making chests, and a chorus fruit farm, just manual farm, automatic farm. And down here we added a few other farms. We have pumpkin and melons. Now this little area is mostly just for show, but it does connect into the system. And then here we have the larger farm for melons and pumpkins, again with a shut-off switch if we don't want it to be running. And moving along this way, we have our redstone testing room, where we kind of test out some of the designs for the farms. We did a flower farm design, which you'll see later. And over here we were working on moss farm designs that we also incorporated into our flower farm area. So, these will come down eventually, and we'll test out some new things. But something else that I kind of want to redesign is my resin farm, which is over here. And shifting floor, allays pick up the resin and drop it to you in this area where the creaking are. But obviously there's been some changes since they first came out, so we probably will redesign this. And I think I'm going to go vertical, but keep this kind of a pattern where there's multiple sides for the resin to spawn. But let's go and see something else. Alright, well, this is a new area where we're starting to store some zombified villagers. And still a work in progress, but these gentlemen used to be kept upstairs. And we want to have a lot of villagers for the city up top so that we can populate the different buildings and different things and put some life into the city. But let's pop upstairs and see what else is around. All right, up here on the main floor, there's still designs to be done and decorating to do here. We had a little map area here, but it's a work in progress, and we're going to redo this whole bit. But we have our center courtyard where we'll do some kind of a design here, a tree or something. But let's pop up here to the second floor, and we can see where our storage is. And there are item filters in the attic above, and the items will travel up that tube, like I was saying, and cycle around until they find their home. But it was a bit of a feat of engineering to get everything tucked in here with small space. But as you saw, items go up, and they travel around, and then they hit the item filters, aligned along the ice and the hoppers, and find their home. Still, work to do is setting different filters, deciding what we want to have here, because the ultimate goal is to have the items travel into the city, and or at least some of the items. And so we're going to try to work on that. But let's go take a look at Main Street here, and some of the other farms that are around. So in this building here, for example, we have a mud farm, which was used to build this build, because we used all the mud. And it's just a pixel riff design where you place the dirt, pushes it along. Let's see, maybe we have dirt. We have a little bit of dirt. So it pushes, it turns to mud, and when it gets to the end, it's being pushed down into the basement. And it's kind of a neat design. It's not perfect. Sometimes lag affects it, but when it comes down here, You can see it's coming down and getting pushed across. Eventually this whole room will be filled, and then we can take it out. And then we have the mud turning into clay on this side where we get 2 stacks. And yeah, works well enough, and it's part of the city and part of the builds. A couple stonemasons here that we used early game for quartz and different things. And next door is where the bakery slash wheat factory is. And the real magic of this build is upstairs, where we have a couple villagers and an automatic system to harvest wheat. Now currently we need to get some bone meal in here, but we have 2 villagers who sleep earlier than we sleep, so they come over here to sleep. Different timers go off, bone mealing the wheat that they've planted, and then a water blast comes out and oops, get out of my way, and flushes the wheat. All of the wheat and seeds go here to this spot where the wheat is pulled down and the seeds remain, so that when they wake up they walk back over it and fill their pockets again. And some of that magic is happening over here underneath, because we left a little airspace in the floor, and so we have some of the item sorter and different signals going by to set off the system. You can see there we have a couple boats tucked in with leads, and that's part of this effect here, which we're going to expand in different parts of the city. But neat little build, and very functional. All right, back in a sec. Another building I wanted to show you quickly is this building behind us, this red building. And on the basement level, there's what will be a store, or is partially a store, where we're going to display all the armor trims. And above is the Love Shack, our breeder. And we can fly up and take a little look. We have villagers of every type of biome here, so that we can get a diverse population. And they feed each other, or we feed them, and eventually a baby arrives, and the baby will travel to the next building for their final destinations. But you can see here with heart-shaped beds, mirrors on the ceiling, and pink champagne on ice, and a couple of our friends here, Fiend and Steadiest Rhyme, a couple lovebirds. And yeah, we tend to do that here, where we name some mobs after friends of the channel, and who knows, maybe one day you'll have a mob named after you. All right, back in a sec. Well, speaking about naming villagers after friends of the channel, it's something I should have done a long time ago, but we're kind of waiting for the perfect spot. And behind me, this build, the interior is new, and we got a new friend to put in there. And yeah, let's go take a look, or drag them in, so we can open the door here. Now, we have to be very, very careful when designing buildings and putting villagers or mobs in, because they tend to want to escape. And that would be wonderful if they could wander the streets, but unfortunately, it's far too dangerous, and their AI, kind of gets them all messed up. So let's see if we can get this guy in here. Hopefully it doesn't bump his head. Come on. What we got here? Okay. We might be able to get him in. Let's see if we just blast him through. Alrighty. And shouldn't be able to leave because of the trap doors there. So let's free him from his boat. And we want him to take a job, and the job we want him to take is right here. Now, that's another thing is, we tend to put barrels and different things in builds, and they always tend to try to go to him. But hopefully he'll take this job here and become a librarian. because this friend is going to be, like I said, someone who should have been named a long time ago. But I have a name tag here, and so let's see what we got. And there you go. It's Ping the Net. So Ping the Net's a good friend of the channel. Plays Minecraft and has an amazing world, and also does streaming on Twitch. So you should definitely check him out and give him a follow. And maybe eventually he'll come over. Oh, there he goes. Now he's the librarian. Perfect. All right, back in a sec. A couple of other buildings we have here on Main Street are behind me. One has a farm. One should have a farm at some point, or a machine. So let's go take a look. And some of these builds, have interiors. Some don't. This is just like a little honey shop. And there is a villager living here. But the farm is back here, tucked in the back. Fairly standard. We get honeycomb and bottles. Sometimes it needs to be adjusted. But here's our villager friend here who lives upstairs in his little apartment. And just, something quaint. But pop down here. Next door is a little cafe where we're going to work on setting up some potion brewing. We have 2 clerics here, and there's a space underneath that we probably will put in the auto brewer. But let's go and see. I guess I blocked that off. I can't remember why. But there's also a little apartment up top here that's decorated. Not much, but it's nice to do interiors when you can. It's one of my shortcomings when it comes to this game, but we try when we can to put in an interior. And maybe we should go and look at another build with an interior. All right, here we go. Here we have a couple of hotels on the beach. And we have the palms here behind me, and then these 2 twin tower buildings over here. And interiors are also done on this, but they also have some farms tucked in. You can see the sugar cane there. The bamboo in the one on the left is decorative, but the sugarcane farm does work. It's just small, as a lot of the farms are here. But single-player world, you don't need huge farms, especially if you build them close by. They run all the time. You can see our sugarcane here. And this hotel here is actually a creeper farm. And let's pop up and see if we can see how it works. It's only 4 layers, so quite small. But there are rooms decorated, little hotel rooms. And the creepers are here. And one of the tricks, the hardest parts of this farm, was getting them into one column. So you can see them bouncing around in there. Eventually, the pistons will push and knock them into the center, and then they'll fall down. They tend to wander a little bit, but we have cats pushing them towards the center. Sometimes they get stuck a little bit, not perfect, but it's working quite well for us because it is running all the time, like I said. So we have all of these filled with gunpowder, and all of these filled with gunpowder, plus what we're always using. Now, soon I'm going to have to put in some auto crafters here, and we'll just make the rockets auto crafting. Right now we're doing it manually, but this one here also has some interiors. They're identical buildings, and again, they're quite simple, just supposed to be little hotel rooms, but we have a nice view. Yeah. All right, let's go see something else. Back in a sec. One of the features of the city are the skyscrapers, or the office towers. And some have purpose, some don't yet, but we're working on getting function into every one of them. And you can see back here, this one actually has the amethyst farm connects to this. And we have some copper golems who are, moving around inside and redistributing the amethyst, which ends up down at the bottom. And very slow farms, amethyst farms, but it's moving along. So, eventually these will fill up and we'll have more than we'll ever need. But let's take a look at another building and see what's going on in there. All right, back in a sec. This office tower behind me, for the longest time we didn't have a purpose for it, but I discovered a way to chop down trees, specifically the nether trees, and so let's go inside and see how we're doing that. And it's kind of, I don't know if it's unique, but it's a different way of doing it, so here we go. So you can see here the platform where the trees grow. There's chains and vines and different things that are kind of encompassing it. And what we're trying to achieve here is that the wart blocks don't take over everything. And by having these chains here, it actually will still allow the tree to grow, but the wart won't grow in these spaces. And so it's quite nice, especially when a short tree grows and you know how it comes right down to the bottom and it gets kind of everywhere. When one of those grows, it actually will grow without any foliage at all, and we'll just have the logs, which is quite nice. And you can see it kind of pushes up through the top, and you can come up and chop it all down from the top down. And to get up, we also have the elevator on this section right here. So, something a little different, but purpose for the building. And let's go look at another building with purpose. All right, here we go. Well, the nether wart build actually made me think of other trees that are a pain to chop. And mangrove is probably one of the worst. And so we built this building here, and we're using it to chop mangrove trees. Similar design, not perfect, but it does work. So let's pop up and see what happens. Oops. But here you can see a mangrove tree that's grown inside. And like the other design, we're using the chains to try to contain the tree. And it does a decent job, although at times it does spill out, which is unfortunate. And it could be because I chose the mangrove logs as the wood of choice for building the build. But let me know what you think. I think it works pretty good and makes it a little easier to chop the trees. All right, we'll see something else. Now, some of these buildings, like the one behind me, doesn't really have a purpose yet. But who knows? Sometime soon we'll figure something out. Who knows? Maybe we'll just do an interior. Same goes for this one here, which I'm actually quite proud of. And in case you're wondering where I get the inspiration for these buildings, a lot of it comes from buildings in the city I live in. And, that goes for the one behind me, which is an old bank here where I live. And obviously they're not exact replicas, but, kind of look at a picture as a reference and try to figure things out. Now, one of the things that make them difficult is the scale that I build at. I tend to build at a smaller scale, and to get the details of these buildings in is quite difficult. But this building here might end up being the large tree chopper building, and we'll probably put an interior in there. And here I'm not sure what we'll do. It does have quite a bit of space, and who knows, we'll figure something out. But again, let me know what you think of these builds. And another building that doesn't really have a huge purpose, but has a purpose, is this bank tower. And this bank tower is where we keep all our diamonds. And when I say diamonds, I mean diamonds that we put in there for every sub we get on YouTube. So if you'd like a diamond put in there, or if you'd like to bankrupt me, maybe you should subscribe. Yeah, do it. But good friend of the channel's lives in the bank. Our banker, she's a rich girl. She's got diamonds on the soles of her shoes, and that's Audrey Lauren. And she takes care of all the finances, and She's probably up in the break room, but you can see we have an interior here and the diamonds peeking up. And right now we're at this level, so not too far along, but it's still amazing to think about all the support that we've had, and I really do appreciate all of you. But yeah, let's go look at something else. All right, back in a sec. All right, here behind me we have a newer build, fire station. You can see the fire truck inside there, and building trucks and different things, it's kind of new to me, but we're doing our best. So let's go take a look inside. Now, this building here is loosely inspired by the firehouse in Ghostbusters. And let's take a peek in. You can see the truck here. And, there's some space for the firemen to sit. There's actually some space in here, which who knows what we'll do with, but we'll find something. And you can actually get inside as well. I usually have beacons all over the city with jump boosts, so we can't really get in there right now, but there's a switch that will turn on the lights on top. It is a ladder truck, so you can see up here the ladder. And again, just trying to figure out how to design these things, and I'm pretty happy with how it came out. We also have a map of the city, so the firemen know where they need to go, and down below their fire getup, I guess. Now, every fire station needs a fire pole, so we have a couple here, and we can go up to the dining hall with the mini kitchen, and third floor is the bunkhouse with the bunks. And again, I'm quite happy with having it finished and, getting an interior in. And, yeah, let's go find another building to look at. All right, back in a sec. Well, all right, here we are in front of one of our newer builds, a concert hall. And I'm pretty proud of this building, and it's going to lead us into new things, because we're going to try to learn how to do some note block magic. And here we've also done some things that, like I said before, we're not quite used to, but we put in a truck here delivering some things, and around the corner we have some tour buses and another truck, and these tour buses, actually, you can go inside, so let's take a look inside this one. And a little driver's compartment, and some sofas to relax, a couple bunk beds, washroom area, and then the main act's private room. And it's fun to put in some things like this in the city to give it some life, but we're getting better at it, I think. Let me know what you think. And here's another truck, and if we go inside, we can see the interior of this and some of the things that we've been doing. So pretty basic stuff. A couple ticket takers here, and coat check over there, and one on that side. And if we go upstairs, we can see a concession stand with some workers there. And up here we have the actual concert hall, and we put in a drum set and a keyboard, and I'm very happy with how this has turned out. Maybe we should go down the stairs. And we also have the lower balcony, or the lower level, to see the things. And underneath here, well, actually, before we go under, let's look backstage. We can look at the keyboard here, little armor stand magic, and the drums aren't armor stands, so anyone can do this, but we have a little drum set, and just for fun. So backstage we also have a green room, some boxes. Let's go up to the green room, and again, simple decorations, but a place to hang out. We're limited for space, so we get what we can. Over here we have our backstage rigging, which turned out quite nice. It's just for fun. But upstairs there is some space in the attic that we can do some note block stuff. But we also have space downstairs, so let's go down there. All right, here we are in the basement, and you can see there's quite a bit of room. So, like I said before, I'm just experimenting with this stuff. I don't really know what I'm doing. But we're learning, and so, we're messing around with some stuff and trying to figure out how to do it. And here's what we have been working on so far. Just a little beat. And I'm pretty happy with what we've accomplished. It's quite difficult to get the timing down, so, that's what we're working on. And right now we're just turning it off this way because the switch doesn't really do anything because it keeps on looping. But let's go find something else to look at. All right. Well, all right. Here we are in our garden, our Baroque garden. And it's just a repeating pattern of things, but it's turned out quite nice, and it's a good way to break up the buildings in the city. And one of the other buildings we have here behind us is this cathedral. And this also is based on a building in my city, but you can also see, this older hotel that we're working on that is also based on something here where I live. So, it's good to get inspiration from different things in real life, and you can see here how it turned out. I'm quite happy with it. We might still add some texture like we've got here into the andesite, although the andesite does look decent on its own. But inside you can see we have a little dunk tank or holy water, whatever, I don't know. This is when the shelves first came out, so we use those. We have a chandelier, and we have the altar over here, the little blood on the altar, some sacrificial lambs backstage, and quite interesting. I'm happy with how this came out as well. But up here we also have an organ, and that's here. Armor stands again. This was actually, I was inspired by Vintage Beef a couple seasons ago in Hermitcraft, where he made the music store and had some different instruments. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this one has come out as well. And, I don't know. I think it's time to see something else. All right, back in a sec. One of the biggest challenges here in building and designing the city has been the roads. And we've moved a couple, more than once, maybe 2 blocks, maybe more. But, you can see what I wanted was that the village connected to the city. And so behind me, we have that kind of curvy road that leads up, and it worked out quite well. But also, we did a lot of terraforming here. The village hill used to come all the way down towards the back of this city hall. And also over there, we've been expanding the land for future projects. So make sure you come and check those out. But let's take a look at the roads. And another challenge that we had with the roads was getting the road from here over to this other area with the observatory and flower farm / greenhouse. But you can see here the road coming up and coming along this way in front of the village. And we have a little tunnel going through the mountainside and then leading into the dam. And we decided on building a dam because, a bridge didn't make sense with the curve. And this was not a lake before. It was actually just a little bit of a valley that we dug out and filled in with water and created this dam, which I think turned out quite nice. But as we get up here past the observatory that was used for spotting the UFO, you can see our road extends along here, where we're going to fill in with different builds at some point. And it leads over here to the greenhouse, which is a work in progress, but it's getting there. It's pretty much complete, and you can see we have flowers here of different types, and many of these flowers actually they're produced downstairs in the flower farm. So let's go there and look. So if we drop down here, we'll get into the ceiling of it. But all the way down here is the actual farm. So we have a few slices of shifting floor designs with allays who will pick up the different flowers. And we're trying to get it to connect to the note blocks. But what happens is the allays from different zones get attracted to the wrong note block, and it's not quite working. But if you stand here, they will throw it at you, and the flowers will go into the water stream, into a sorter, and then up into some sorters over there for the barrels. Here is our moss farm, which we designed in the redstone area, and it works quite well. It does have a bone meal bias, but that's okay because we need the bone meal for the flower farm. Anywho, let's go on and continue on our journey. All right, back in a sec. Well, the circle is complete. Yeah, we're back here at the airplane, and I thought this would be a nice place to end the video. And, we've missed a lot of things, or at least I think we have. And maybe I'll have it flashed up on the screen now, some of the things that we didn't get a chance to show. But there's just so much, and it makes it very difficult to record these videos. So we're going to take a look at the farm inside, and let's go do that now. So as you saw earlier in the video, we are here in the airplane, and this is where I was sitting for most of it. Whoa! But we also went up front into the business class. This is the coach section, and we have some washrooms here. Here's where I was for the wing shots, and of course there's also first class up ahead where you can fly in a little bit more luxury. And then these bathrooms are still being worked on, and of course we have the pilots here and the cockpit. And yeah, it's a neat little thing, I think. But we can also pop down and see there's the nether portal that we come into the plane. We have our storage down below where we're collecting the items, and at the back is where the witches they come from the nether into the plane here. So down below is the actual farm, obviously, in the witch hut, so we can kind of peek out and see. Now if we climb up here, we pop out of the toilet as you do, and hello, we can go down and look at the witch farm. So here's where the witch hut was, and the plane is just above, as you see. We're working on some runways, and we're probably going to do a diagonal runway as well over here, and then probably a terminal potentially here or here. Here would be a lot more terraforming, so I'm leaning towards here. But you can see down below we have some villagers working hard at controlling the air traffic, and this here is actually a shifting floor design. I believe it's Big Booty's design. I think that's what his name is, and I'm sure if you look up Witch Farm, you'll find the one I'm talking about. Now in his farm, he has a water elevator going up to the kill chamber, but yeah, I don't really like when there's like that kind of farm with the bubble vader going up. So we did try something a little different with the portals, but lots of work to do here, lots of work to do in other places, and yeah, I didn't show you the end, but that's because this is the end. Yeah, this is the end, and I hope you really enjoyed the tour. I'm sure I forgot something. If you have any questions, make sure you leave a comment and ask. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for all the support. And here's to another 100 episodes. All right, thanks for watching. Can't believe it, I forgot so many things. I forgot to mention Atheistic Panda, who's going to get a mob soon, and Douglas Gordo on YouTube. Probably will get a mob too. And I forgot Iron Fox lives here in our Fortress of Solitude. And